And over at Del Mar College in Corpus Christi, there's word that several employees may have been exposed to the virus. A guest on campus for a meeting with college employees was notified that they'd been exposed to someone who was COVID-19 positive. 6 others in that meeting were asked to self-isolate just as a precaution. Once the test results are in for that guest, college administrators say they will determine what the other 6 people need to do.